According to one of the mythologies, the Heliopolitan concept of theology, they believe that their god Atum, not only just the Heliopolitan, all the Egyptian mythology have the same origin where their god came from. So before God came to be, basically God made himself according to them. He's self-made, okay? God came from the primordial waters. He came out of the primordial waters, and there he set his throne above the primordial waters. And then I was like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. I went to the hadith and started looking in Islam. I was like, I heard this before. Apparently in Islam we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his throne is above the primordial waters. And there's an ayah that says when he finished his creation, he created himself the throne and he rose above his throne. Now the question is, if there was no throne before that, where did Allah rise from?
Test the claim.
Okay, now moving on. Now that we put that aside, the next question. This is a question that I've been thinking about. You know, when I don't. Before I go to the main argument, maybe you can give me a quick answer and just end it. You know, Allah's throne is above. وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ is above the waters, the primordial waters. Now, my question to you is there any hadith or an ayah that talks about Allah creating that particular water?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't think so. That I take it back. I don't know. But what Allah says, like Imam Malik, he said, we take it how it is. We don't ask how, when, and this kind of question. Because when we meet him, we ask. Otherwise, if we were in the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we would ask the man, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not here. Inshallah, when we go to heaven and we have time to talk to Allah, and then we ask him, inshallah.
But here's what I was thinking. Because, you know, Allah gave us the brain to think.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think of certain things and I feel like maybe Allah wants me to do it. Because why are they coming to me? Now, here's my question, right?
But how do you know this thoughts comes from Allah or shaitan?
Because I don't know. But here's one thing though.
I will tell you how to know. If it makes in you like
But here's the question.
questioning things that you know there is a no answer, that's from shaitan.
Because I'll tell you
the
this.
shaitan, he gives you ghurur, like a delusional. Allah gives you way to think, like something have a solution.
Now let me tell you why this thought came to me.
Yeah.
I'm a historian. My YouTube channel, Somali Corner, is based on composing the ancient history of Somali people, their relations.
What do you believe we are from?
We'll speak in a bit. No, that's a good question. But first of all, let me tell you this. So I was reading a topic on ancient Egyptian mythology, and I came across something that fascinated me. According to one of the mythologies, the Heliopolitan concept of theology, they believe that their god Atum, not only just the Heliopolitan, all the Egyptian mythology have the same origin where their god came from. So before God came to be, basically God made himself according to them. He's self-made, okay? God came from the primordial waters. He came out of the primordial waters, and there he set his throne above the primordial waters. And then I was like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. I went to the hadith and started looking in Islam. I was like, I heard this before. Apparently in Islam we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his throne is above the primordial waters. And there's an ayah that says when he finished his creation, he created himself the throne and he rose above his throne. Now the question is, if there was no throne before that, where did Allah rise from? Did he rise from the primordial waters? Like Atum or something?
No, that's difficult.
Do you get the question though?
Yeah, that's difficult. That's doesn't make sense. Even what the Egyptians saying doesn't make sense. Why? First of all, what we have now today, Quran, some knowledge in it. You understand? It's not exclusive for us. Allah said He sent prophets to every mankind. You understand? And there is an exception. Some people they didn't have the prophets, and He said, "I'm not gonna punish them." So nothing reached to them. So if the Pharaoh time or the Egyptian, all the Egyptian people has some knowledge in line with the Islam, doesn't mean like Islam copied them, because with the knowledge of the
I'm not saying that.
no
but
no
go
no
on.
no I'm saying some people say that because this been found after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's not before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they cannot say, oh, some people knew. No, because the Greek never spoke about it. You understand? So no one knew that. So this divine thing came to Allah. For example, and now when you read the Bible, Ezekiel, is it what's it?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. I read the Bible in Arabic. You understand?
Yeah.
So Ezekiel 19:20, in the Bible says, no son takes the sin of his father, nor the father takes from his son. Wicked man should be judged by his wickedness, and like a good righteous man should. Allah said in the Quran, وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرى. So Allah didn't copy, Quran didn't copy from that.
The Bible,
No,
yeah.
but some of the Bible is correct. Now, when Allah said to me, Allah said in the Quran, and كما بدأنا نعيده كما بدأنا أول مرة. We will do it like, we will make it like how we did it in the first. We take it back as the original form. The scientists saying now, you understand, everything will now expanding, and in the end will go back to where it is, and they believe that's the end. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna say to the scientists, you know what, you already read the Quran and you know the Quran is the truth. No, that's he found out. Doesn't mean it's in line with the Quran.
True.
He's hiding the Quran. It could be he's hiding the truth. He knows the truth. The sources was in the Quran. But me, as a Muslim, I cannot go talk without evidence. It actually embarrasses you. Without evidence.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
But it's good, you know your religion. Oh, he said that. Oh, okay. Oh, خلاص. And what if he said different? No, the world expanding, and tomorrow the earth gonna give birth to other earth. Doesn't mean it does mean you change your religion. No, we don't care.
Yeah,
We
but
think-
going back to the question again. So according to this mythology actually came many thousands of years before Islam. The mythology is older than the concept in Islam, but I'm not saying the concept was borrowed from them. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say that. But let's look at this from non-historical perspective, and let's look at it from Islamic perspective. Now, the Islamic perspective is this: when Allah, remember, وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ. Now, one thing that we know in Islam, that Allah created the Arsh. He created His throne, but there was a time when His throne was not created. Therefore, and there's an
Of
ayah
course.
that says He rose upon His throne. So before He created His throne, and His throne was above the waters, where did Allah rise from? Did He rise? Because at the end of the day, because below the throne is the waters, the primordial waters. So did Allah rise from the waters,
Here-
or was He above the waters?
Here
all the time?
what we say, everything created, and we say we have the knowledge of what Allah told us. Beyond that, how and when, it's a doors from the shaitan. But as a Muslim, I don't open that doors. I don't know. Inshallah, when I meet Allah, when I see Allah, if I'm not curious. Actually, me personally, I think in the Jannah I will be super busy. But and they're saying how many hur al-ain?
70, right?
My friend, I'm super busy. You understand? And the gardens and the a'nab and with this, I'm super busy. Wallah, I'm not going to ask any question. You understand? But with the thing is, those who open these doors of the questions, he needs to bring the answers. You know, he's where Allah was, how He created Himself. You know, when I was young, I used to say to myself, you know, I was more to Christianity than to Islam when I was young, because my teachers and there was the Ethiopians, Christians and stuff like that. So I was more to the Christianity than to Islam. But the thing is, me and my friends, Christianity, if you have some of Islam, Christianity don't make sense. You understand? You resist it already.
Yeah.
But I like the idea you can do whatever you want and you get forgiveness. You understand?
Exactly.
That's the idea.
It's very appealing.
Yes, so nice for a teenager. You understand? And there's a lot of beautiful ladies around you.
Exactly,
You
man.
understand?
Do what you will.
Yeah. Then with the time, it's like I understood this. It's like going to the supermarket and coming back. There's a lot of things you like, but you can't buy at the supermarket, and it's not yours. And this religion is not mine. And anyway, we go back. the people who ask this kind of question, they're not gonna get answer, and this is where the shaitan likes to be, because shaitan, in our understanding of Islam, he never go against God as God. He go against the creation of God. When he swear, he say وَعِزَّتِكَ وَجَلَالَتِكَ لَأَضَلَّنَّهُمْ. And you know how to say it in English. وَعِزَّتِكَ وَجَلَالَتِكَ.
By your might, by
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
yeah.
he said that. So Iblis, he's a good believer in this way. But later on, sister, how you doing? Alhamdulillah.
You're not gonna say hi to me. Hi, how are you? Where are you from? Where are you from? Zimbabwe. I had a feeling you're East African. Okay. Huh? Somali. Yeah.
I speak a bit of Somali.
Really? We should speak more.
Yeah, this man is so nationalism. He can teach you a lot.
Teach me.
I am basically the definition of Somali nationalism.
Yeah, let's go in that.
Somali or Somaliland?
There is no such thing. There's only one. According to let's look at what the world thinks. In the world we think there's only one Somali. So.
Because I was listening to one nationalist woman, I don't know how it came on my feed, it was Somaliland Independence Day. She was like, I want you to be astronauts, I want you to be doctors, let other Somalis be terrorists.
Adna,
Do you know which woman it was?
Adna, she's a bit, she's tapped in the head.
I was like, what the hell?
Adna is tapped in the head.
Adna,
She's not alright.
exactly like what they say, like a house nigga. She said, I'm British.
Oh my, that's so embarrassing.
She's tapped in the head. She's crazy.
It's very difficult to call yourself British when you are.
Somalis and only loves
No, she don't hate.
She's a Somali herself.
I don't think she hates.
I thought she loved Somaliland. But
Yeah, she loves
But
Somaliland.
what people don't understand is to be a Somali is not a nationality. A Somali is a tribe, is an ethnicity. So it's like, what's your tribe?
Shona.
Imagine if the Shona people had a country and the country was called Shonaland. That's what Somaliland is, or Somalia is. We are a tribe called Somali, and the name of the nation was named after the Somali tribe. Basically, we are the only nation in Africa that own their own country, and the country is named after them. Yeah. But going back to before we move on to the Somali stuff, yeah. Sister, you wanna grab a chair? Or you wanna sit down?
Yes, please. Have a chair.
Yeah, have a seat here.
Oh, no, don't give me yours.
Oh, I don't have another. There's no another
I
chair.
thought you knew where there was another one.
No, there isn't. So the reason why I'm going to conclude this for you, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I'm constantly thinking. I'm one of those people. I'm constantly curious, and I don't. Just to let you know, I don't believe in the concept of shaitan. I don't believe in that. I feel like I believe that every thought that comes to my head is because of me, and there is nothing outside of me controlling me. Until somebody gives me evidence or this is because that's one thing. But one thing that I do believe is that when I think there's a reason why I'm thinking of this, there's a reason why this is coming to me, and I have to take advantage of that. So I was reading this historical passage on ancient Egyptian, Hinduism, and many other, for the sake of learning and how people disperse and not because I was looking for religion and why. No, I wasn't looking for religion because I'm already a Muslim. I'm contented with who I am. But I was looking for a historical narrative on how certain people or what people believed in the past. So I came across this particular passages, and according to Hinduism, ancient Egyptian, many other people in the past, they all believe that the throne of God is above the primordial waters. But according to Hinduism, Brahman was floating on top of the primordial waters. According to other North American or Central, the old American tribes, they believe that God was above the waters. But the point is, ancient Egyptians, they're the ones who say that God came out from the waters. And then when he came out from the waters, he made himself a throne. So in Islam, it doesn't delve into where God was before his throne. All we know is that God rose. We don't know if he...
There was God and there was nothing with him.
Yeah, so according to the Quran, or according to the Hadith, the throne of God is above the waters. As far as I know, I haven't came across any sources that says that God created the waters, but we know that God created everything else.
Yeah.
Do you really believe
No,
the water?
the
God said
thing-
He created everything.
The thing now we go
Through the water.
we go back again to something. It's the same thing. كان الله ولم يكن سواه. It was God, nothing else. After that, after God, everything been created. Second, it's if God came from the water, no, Allah created the water. So now, when the other people saying like Buddhists, whatever, they had the knowledge, then they add things. Why? We all from Adam, and Adam had one statement from God. Then the desires and the school of thoughts comes. You understand? And more you go far from, for example, my son, he's almost 40% of me. You understand? Of how I act. You understand? Then 60% of the society, if you can say that. But if my son now moved away from me, and he lived, for example, in the United States, and he moved to wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, and he moved to the United States, this 40% I have in him, they will go down. You understand? Then what will be added? The United States culture. So Allah said, I sent prophets to the all nations. So all the nations, they believe there is the one who makes the reason for the cause. You understand? He is the reason of everything happening. Then they lost the message. Somebody took the power after prophets gone, or the reminders, because we have prophets, Rusul, Anbiya, and reminders. You understand? So when that's gone, somebody took the power, lied, or forgot, or after a long time people forgot this, then they add. Philosophy came in. How this happened? They know one line, they will know one thing, then they want to explain it. So you explain it in a way, and this person explain it in a way, and that person explain it in a way. That's how all these things came. For example, when we talk about black history, East African black history, Pharaoh and this, because Pharaoh it's all East Africans. And بلد السوادنا Kindara, I think his name, it's mostly Kunjita in Sudan and stuff like that. All they are black East African, and they used to call themselves Sadana. Sadana still they exist. The tribes of Sadana, it means Sudan, the black people. They're proud of them colors. So those people, they had the reminder Luqman. You understand? They had Luqman. Luqman in history reports.
Someone told me Luqman was Somali.
It could be. You understand? So the Luqman, if he's good looking, then he's Somali.
100%, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So Luqman, he's a reminder. So they got knowledge from Luqman. Then when Luqman is gone, and his son, I don't know if he obeyed him or not, then people liked what Luqman said. They catch it up to get them to the power. You understand? Exactly, like Zakaria said, he prayed God, he said, Ya Allah, give me a son. Why? خفت الموالي مني. I am scared of the people who are around me. You understand? So give me a son, take the knowledge and be a leader. So he's scared of people around him, family members, cousins, something. They took the power because we are his cousins, we are his children and uncles. They took the power and they add up in a religion. So that's why Zakaria, he was scared of that. Yeah. So the message it's one, Allah it's one. Everybody agreed in that. Somebody, they don't say Allah is one. They say creator, created, start, whatever. The message it's one. Then later on, they add up because they're human. They want to like Krishna, he did this and that. And in the other chapter, it's contradict with the other. That's a human capacity. You understand? With Allah, Allah tells me what I need. It's Him and nobody else. No one equals to Him. He don't need my help. He don't need me in all time. You understand? In any time, Allah don't need me. Al-Ghaniyu an al-Alameen. He don't need us all on the creation. You understand? Self-sufficient. You understand? We need Him. We worship Him. And we don't have a choice. You understand? About worshiping and believing God, soon you get the message. You have
if,
no
if
choice
God didn't need us, why did He create us?
to worship Him.
Does God need to be worshipped?
No, He wants us to do that.
Yeah, but
Need, Allah don't have a need.
Okay,
If
so
He have a need, He's weak.
what's the difference between to want and to need?
He created us to worship Him. He didn't say, I want, and وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَ وَالْجِنَّ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I didn't create you nothing else but to worship.
So God wants to be worshipped.
Once, that's adding. You added.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, what does He? Okay, why did He create us?
He said, I didn't create, I created the ins wal jinna wal ins. Why he said jinn first? Because he created the jinn first before human. You understand? And the shaitan is a jinn. You understand? So he said, I created them to worship me. Once need, it's not in the sentence. Me, I take the way he said it. Later on, the human come in.
Like me.
Like you. How he wants and this. Me, I stick with that. But when I meet Allah, I will ask him. Me, I'm not gonna ask. I promise you that. I'm not that curious.
I'm very curious. But
Yeah, but you are allowed because Allah promised you in heaven you do whatever you want. So you are allowed. Me, I'm allowed. I don't want it. You understand?
Alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
free will.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Now, okay, so the reason, like I said, the reason why I asked that question is because after reading these mythologies, it only came to me because the Quran literally says, وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ, and another ayah, so that's a hadith, and a verse in the Quran says, He rose above His throne. So the question that came to my mind is, where did Allah rise from? Okay, because there's no mention of Him creating the waters, but there is a mention of Him.
But he said there is a mention of him. He said خالق كل شيء.
Yeah,
Create.
but
So anything comes along in anywhere, he created.
okay,
After him.
no problem. So, according to this verse, the throne was created after the waters.
Maybe you can. That's we don't have a problem. The water created after this. We don't have.
Yeah, okay. So if the throne was created after the waters, yeah, because there is no any evidence that He did it, because He said, He created sab'a samawat. Everything sab'a samawat. Allah khalaqa samawati wal ard wa ma baynahun. Like everything that's in between the what? The seven heavens He created. But the waters is not within the seven heavens. It's above the seven heavens. It's the thing that it's the veil between the seven heavens and Allah. So Allah did not create the waters.
No, Allah created water. Why? Because He said خالق كل شيء. Now Allah in this ayah tells you, I created the seven heavens and earth. That's one knowledge. Now you receive. And He said that anything, because the Quran is this size, yeah. What if Allah said to you, I created George Bush, I created Liban who's talking to you, I created I created the bag, you understand? Because the plastic He made it, you understand? So I created it. You know this book will look how big will be?
Very big.
Yeah. So Allah said to you, it's in a shortcut. He said, خالق كل شيء. So that's the answer for everything. But reflect on the Quran. It's good. You understand? But there is something bad about it as well. It's small, not big. So see, reflect on the Quran. 90% is good. 10% or less, it's bad. Why? There is a questions. Only Allah can answer you. Only Him. So wait until you die. Oh no, wait until you go to heaven. Because in this earth, Muhammad is gone, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Sahaba, they wasn't curious. You understand? You know why I believe my reason is Sahaba not curious about it? Because they were in kufr. They came from kufr. So they know the misery of kufr. And they're enjoying the Islam. So these small things doesn't annoy them. But you and I, we're born Muslims. We never went to the jihad. You understand? We live it. Now we don't want to stand. We're sitting in a chair.
But here's the question, though. I mean, isn't it fair to say that in order for you to believe, for example, how do you know what darkness is if you've never been to the dark? If you've always been in the light, you won't appreciate the light unless you go see the dark.
No, I will appreciate the light, but not exactly like the one who's been in the dark.
Yeah, but you have to go in the light at some point, experience it.
For example, I pass by dog, I don't care. In Dredawa, I care. You understand? But I don't have to be. A dog doesn't have to bite me to know it's like that. Lions, for example. You understand? Lions. I know lions are dangerous. You understand? But I've never seen a lion in my life, except in a zoo. But I don't want to see him. So I don't need to experience everything. To experience everything, you'll be so damaged, my friend.
I know, but we're talking about like exploring your mind, exploring things that could be beneficial to you. I'm a bit of a philosophical minded, you know.
Yeah.
I'm into.
Yeah.
Can I kick again?
No, no, no.
Listen, no.
I'm your brother. Yeah. Yeah. What is this? Ah, the
Let's come
cover.
back for it.
Yeah.
So
غريبة هذه
ايش؟
غريبة هذه
ايش؟
غريب
اللي ما حارب. ها؟ الحين بمسكهم الزواحف. الله يخليك يا اخوك.
yeah, I had a thought in my mind that kind of slipped me, but what was that question I was asking you a day?